It's a dream for many of us to own a second home, but before you make that choice, there are, of course, multiple factors to consider. Trusted Advisors, broker Patty Da Silva and Realtor Chris Green explain how purchasing your second property can be different than your first. Chris, Patty, welcome back to ISF. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So good to see you.
It's good to see you guys both as well. Owning a second home is a dream for many South Floridians, and of course, as we talked about recently with the surplus of homes here in South Florida, that dream can actually become a reality.
Yes.
But what does a second home mean? Because it's not just another house.
Yes.
It means more than that.
A second home means a home that you are going to occupy part-time for your personal use and for your family's use and for your friends. It's not a home that you're going to rent.
Okay.
So that's what a definition of a second home is.
And what qualifies as a second home? An RV, a yurt?
It can't move.
Oh, it can't move. It's a movable.
I think
Okay.
you'd have to have a little distance between the homes. You know, it makes sense. Like
That
the
makes
lender says, hey, you know, you're buying a second home like a block away, and it's a second home. Let's say that's a, you know, we
That's
need to
an
get you
investment
a-
property.
It's kind of investment. So,
Disguised in a second home.
but buying
Can't
a
do that.
home on the waterway, and like in Fort Lauderdale on the ocean, a little home there with a boat, that makes
If you
sense.
live
that's
west.
access. If you live west, you move to the east.
Okay.
Or buying a home in Colorado because
So
you love
geographical
skiing.
limitations.
Geographically, definitely.
Got
The
it.
lender looks at it.
Logical.
Logically.
So it could be 7-8 miles.
Yeah.
But if you live, you know, in suburbia and you're buying a oceanfront property, that makes sense.
Convince the lender
This is your
why.
weekend. This is your
Your
weekend
weekend chalet.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
You cannot buy a second home in your same community.
So I can't buy a home in Plantation and buy one down the street on University in Plantation?
You cannot.
Okay,
You
got
can buy
it,
as
got
an
it.
investment property.
Got it. So logical and geographical
Yes.
limitations, and also common sense will tell you.
Yes.
Chris, the trends. What are people buying as far as second homes? Are they single home buildings? What's the trend?
Yeah, they're buying anything they can afford.
Yes.
I mean, they're
as much
buying-
as they can
Yeah,
afford.
as much as they can afford now.
Yeah.
Now the interest rates are a little higher, so you got to really factor that in. But usually, buying a second home, you have some money and you
Yes.
need reserves.
Yes,
Even
the
up to
lenders.
a year of reserves
Gotta
for
have a
that
coin.
6 months to a year is what
Yeah.
the rule of thumb is.
And you know, most clients looking for a second home do have the extra, you know, income, of course, but they need to realize the interest rates on the second homes and investment properties is always going to be higher than the primary residence. And the down payment, usually you're looking at 20%, 25% depending, where, you know, in a primary residence you could go way lower than that.
And the process for purchasing a second home, I would imagine, is the same as, you know, inspection
Yes.
with the first
Same
home,
thing.
contingencies,
Yes.
all of
Very
that.
similar.
Very
Very similar.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are we seeing a lot of here in South Florida, Chris, when it comes to what people are buying and their experiences? Are they moving quicker?
Well, in general, yeah. I mean, it's fast. You got to work fast now.
You gotta work
You know,
fast.
you got to work quickly. You got to find the lender. You got to move. You just can't hesitate. Really.
If you like something, somebody else is
gotta
going to
go-
like it too.
Right. You got to keep going. You
yeah.
got to move forward. Don't be afraid. Don't hesitate. You'll look back and say, "Hey,
I wish I did.
I wish I did."
Yeah.
Wow.
And we
Wow.
have so many second homes in South Florida from out of, you know, our out of state residents love it to be here during the winter.
We see a lot of Northerners.
Yes.
A lot of Canadian
A lot of
license plates
Canadians.
here in
Yeah.
Miami. I was so surprised.
Yeah,
Yes,
in the east part of town, you see so many Canadians.
Jersey,
Yorkers.
New York.
Jersey, we see New York. We see Canadians. We love them. They come down and they love the weather. This is where
You
come when
can't
it's
blame
snowing.
them, though.
You
I mean,
can't.
like, they get the iguanas, we get
Yes.
the rain, we
Yeah,
get
we're
everything
actually,
here.
We're actually
sun.
going there. They're coming
Here,
here.
right,
Yeah.
I
right.
mean, it's so funny how we say, "Can we go to the snow, please? Can we move
they're
into your
over here.
place?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
It's
some
beautiful.
communities, some buildings that literally close.
Yeah.
Right, you had told me when we were talking off air, you guys at home,
Yeah.
and Patty had said that there is some buildings that are vacant because
Vacant.
everyone just says, we're out.
Yeah,
We're
they're out. They
leaving."
come at
Yeah.
the same time and they leave at the same time.
Yeah.
And then the building is cared for by the caretakers. Their cars are parked. They lock the
Unreal.
door and leave. Exactly how, and they come
really
back the following year. The
Wow.
building is actually closed for the summer because nobody's here. They
This is
only
some
open
great
for the
information.
winter.
Yeah, wow. But buying a second home is absolutely doable here in South Florida.
It is doable.
Chris, Patty, as always, great conversation. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
wealth of knowledge. Always glad having you on ISF.
Thank you for being
Thank
with
you,
us. Thank you.